All right, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are at Wintry First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Today, we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Let's go now. Here we go, D. All day. Defense.
On 1st and 10, Banks. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, 79 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, this has been a quick strike offense all season long, finding many different ways to manufacture big plays.
They had a big playoff preview today in the papers, and it was about who would set the tone. Well, they just set the tone right there. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Jackson, and that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It is one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
I don't think you got it, sir.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Banks. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Clelin Ferrell in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. The handoff, it's Eckler. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Jackson now, throwing on 3rd and long. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Banks. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. A run for Nick Chubb. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Like 22, he's coming.
From the gun, Banks looking for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to...
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. 75 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream up right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
No, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They go with Chubb on second down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to throw. Banks being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On the ground is Chubb. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On first down, Banks. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Ravens' 33-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A run with Chubb on first down, not going to be a good one. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 29-yard line.
Okay, ready? 57 to Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Operating from the gun. Banks. That's taken in by Callaway. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Banks. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Seibert's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And how about that return as he's all the way inside the 20-yard line.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
First and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Austin Seferian-Jenkins there to make the grab, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Banks. Ball going. It got his man. Complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Taywan Taylor, 74 yards. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sideline. So let's go get it back, and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. They go play action now. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A good pickup there at 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
53, Mike, 53. Not today, you are. Not today. 53 to Mike, 53.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. But now it'll be 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some muscle on it. Because if you go lollipop,
trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
and that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throwing is Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in, and it makes it hard to defend.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go, let's go. And we got move. 53, Mike, 53. Go. You're not ready. 53 to Mike, 53. Check 53. I'm here all day. Check.
Jackson Throwing again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 17 yards out, and the Ravens have once again taken the lead. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are able to regain the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we're at halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Seibert now to kick this thing away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did he...
He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards.
And the Ravens first down.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Get wide. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 4. Switch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Play action. Now Jackson. Flushed out. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jalen Ferguson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 31, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Here we go.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Brings up 3rd down.
22's coming, Mike. Time to go, night.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Banks. He's going to fire one into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
2nd and 10. At the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. This is caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They run it again with Chubb. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right, and he stopped immediately there. Earl Thomas in on the stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Banks under pressure again, and down he goes again. Matt Judon. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the side.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw is Jackson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now it's Jackson, and that will be incomplete as well.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
This is taken at the 23. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Browns drive about to get started. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Come on, set. Check 53, smile. I'm coming.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Clelin Ferrell in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Jackson. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. A give running right is Chubb. Fighting through it. He's got space. 20. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Well, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Ravens' 41-yard line.